Silent Hill, TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W, Sports Network, Late Night Edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. About to raise the bar, wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk, Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar, we about to raise the bar. Wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk, Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar, ayy. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W, late night sports. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W, late night sports. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W, late night sports. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W, late night sports. Hey.
Give me a second, let me light up real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the I.O.W Sports Late Night Hour Edition, hosted by Mr. Modelo himself. You already know the name by now. You know what I'm saying? Wild Card Mar. You already know the vibe. Pull up, let's go.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening, folks? How we doing tonight? I know busy day for Wild Card Mar. Y'all probably sick of seeing my face all day. I'd have been on podcasts all day. I know. Monday's my busy day. Monday's my busy day. But thank you for tuning in. Chilling with your boy. It's episode 402 of I.O.W Sports Late Night Hour Edition. Hey, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Y'all know where to find me. Matter of fact, shout out to my guy, Silent Hill TDS. See at the bottom of your screen. That's my guy that made the dope intro for the podcast. Tap in with my guy. Tap in. I always show love to my peoples. Tap in with them. All right? Now that we got that out the way, look at the bottom of your screen again. That's where you can find me. We just need to get down to business. Fact of the matter is, I got a special guest coming. He'll be in about 5 minutes. But let's get that. Hey, man. If y'all saw the weekend sports recap with myself and Double J Jones every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I said it going off on the air. I said, if Eagles lose to Baker Mayfield, Nick Sirianni gotta go. Nick Sirianni gotta go. Because this dude went to the Super Bowl last year. This dude has been one arrogant, pompous, cocky son bitch. I remember when the Eagles came in week 11, came in here to Kansas City, Arrowhead. They got a win, and y'all saw the clip. He over here talking shit to the fans, walking up the ramp, squawking like a bird, squawking like a chicken. few weeks later, month and a half later, your season over in terrible fashion. It wasn't like they lost. They got their ass kicked by Baker Mayfield. We talking about homeboy progressive who couldn't stay in Cleveland, couldn't stay in Carolina, couldn't stay in LA. Baker Mayfield, that dude. Yeah, we talking about him. We talking about that dude. Hey, man, you talking about piss poor coaching? You talking about piss poor coaching? Now, come on, man. It wasn't like, you know, like he was going up against a world star cast of coaches over there in Tampa Bay. Now, Todd Bowles, I respect him as a defensive head coach. I respect him as a defensive head coach. I don't respect him as a head coach. He is not a great head coach. He's shown that in the Jets organization, and he's floundered in Tampa Bay. Albeit, I understand what you're saying. You know, they made it to the playoffs. Yeah, come on, man. Anybody in their drunk mama could coach a team in the NFC South. I'm not praising Todd Bowles for winning the NFC South. That trash division. You know what I'm saying? I know a few crackheads that can coach a football team in the NFC South and probably do some success with a team in the NFC South. I'm not giving Todd Bowles too much credit on in the NFC South. But what I am giving him credit for tonight is the game plan that he had. Pressure on Jalen Hurts. He knew he was hurt. He knew his finger was jacked up. He pressured him. He knew he was going to be without A.J. Brown. Shh. But here's what makes me mad, and I'm not even an Eagles fan. Y'all know this. I mean, it's pretty evident. I'm not an Eagles fan. DeAndre Swift is a damn good running back. You trade to go get him. He can catch out the backfield. He can run, you know, with the carries. You didn't use him. You didn't use him properly at all. Eagles got blasted tonight. I mean, literally, they got treated like a co-ed on a bang bus, bro. Like, come for real. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing? That was, and for Jason Kelce, because it looked like this might be his last game, and you kind of saw the emotions he was going through. This is a bad way to go out. Where your defense, oh my goodness, the defense, what kind of piss poor tackling job that they was doing tonight? Oh my goodness, what was that? I mean, that tackling job that they was doing tonight was absolutely hideous. That was some of the worst tackling attempts I've ever seen in my life. That was trash. Of course, the secondary been cheeks all year, trash. And then you compile it by literally with that trash offensive game plan by Brian Johnson on that side of the ball. What was that? I get it. A.J. Brown was gone. But you could utilize your other people. Utilize Dallas Goedert. He's a solid tight end. Utilize Devontae Smith a little better than what you did. I get it. Julio Jones got knocked out of the game. That sucks. But damn it, come on. 32-9? You got beat by Baker Mayfield? Literally, Baker Mayfield over here looking like he Joe Montana tonight. Again, 10 carries for DeAndre Swift. 10 carries? Now, I get that Jalen Hurts' hand was hurting, but was his feet hurting? What happened to the Jalen Hurts y'all had last year with the RPO and was using him in the running game? He gets 1 carry tonight on 5 yards. DeAndre Swift, 10 carries, only 34 yards. This was bad offense. Bad offense. You kick the field goal, you make it, then you go for it on 4th and 5. That's bad coaching. Take the points. You need to get some type of momentum because you are struggling tonight. This was just, ooh. Eagles fans, I feel bad for y'all. Listen to this. 22 of 36 for 337 yards and 3 TDs. Yeah, that sounds like a stat line for like a Joe Montana, a Dan Marino, a Peyton Manning, a Drew Brees, a Patrick Mahomes. No, that's Baker Mayfield stat line. Straight cook them Eagles. Put them jokers on a rotisserie and was rolling them joints over the fire. Say, ooh, Eagle gonna taste like chicken tonight, baby. Ooh, put them on the rotisserie. Say, ooh, we about to flame these motherfuckers up. Ooh, we about to eat good tonight. I'm talking about them Eagles was looking like straight dinner tonight. That was a piss poor performance. And if you tell me that the same organization that literally won a Super Bowl with Doug Peterson and 2 years later he up out of the building because the team was sliding down, then damn it, don't wait to pull the trigger on this one. You now wait to pull the trigger on Nick Sirianni because this man just had a Super Bowl appearance, and you follow it up by, you know, I know you got 11 wins, but y'all saw I had them 11 wins. They was playing with fire all season. Hell, the damn Eagles pops. They was winning. They was literally being just like the Minnesota Vikings of last year, when the Minnesota Vikings had 11 one-possession victories. Playing with fire, week in, week out, week in, week out. Just, you know, playing the high wire act. Didn't know if they was going to be a good team this week, be a good team that week, bad team this week, bad team that week. And that's what the Eagles were playing with their food all year. Did nothing impressive. That secondary was trash all year. They weren't getting the sacks like they were last year. They had trouble getting sacks this year. Remember, they had almost 70 plus sacks last year. I don't even think they cracked 55. Matter of fact, I don't even think they even cracked the top 5 in sacks like they did. You can possibly attribute that to maybe they missed Jonathan Gannon. Maybe they missed Shane Steichen. Hey, yeah. That's true to a point. But what it goes back to why I say that Nick Sirianni should be worried about his job is if the fact that you are that becoming of your coordinators, then what exactly did you do as the head coach? If removing Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon from a Super Bowl team last year and the result is what we got this year, what exactly did you do, Nick Sirianni? All I saw was a pompous asshole thought he was still the shit from a Super Bowl appearance last year. If you were that dependent on your coordinators last year, what exactly did you do as a head coach? And I'm glad that I got my partner here today. Y'all seen him multiple times on the show, Randy Ribber, and he's happy. I know he is. What's up, my brother?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. Now, everybody knows, obviously, you know, you are a Giants fan, and although you guys had a, you know, not a great season, it does make it feel better that you see the Cowboys and Eagles in back-to-back nights literally get their ass kicked on national TV. That has to feel good.
Oh yeah, it feels great. Vindicated, because the thing is, at least we get a high draft pick for our losses. They went all the way and got embarrassed on the biggest stage, and they get nothing out of it. So I like to think of it that way.
Yeah. But man, these Eagles get 43 sacks on the season this year after getting 70 last year. Huge drop. I mean, that plays a part into it. But you know, what did you make of the game? Obviously, imagine letting Baker Mayfield do that to you. Now, Randy, I don't know if you saw it, but I was talking with my man Jay Jones on the weekend sports recap this afternoon at 7, and I told him, I said, if the Eagles lose to Baker Mayfield, Sirianni should be worried about his job. He should get fired. I mean, you let me know if I'm way off base with that take, and especially what you saw tonight, if he deserves to pack your shit.
It's in this case, think first of all, the defensive coordinator definitely gets fired. I think he's the first pink slip. As far as Sirianni, it's tricky because you don't want to rely too much on recency bias. I mean, the year before they did get to the Super Bowl with him.
Yeah.
So I think he should be worried about his job. I'm not necessarily sure that I would immediately start by firing him. I think if you get a good defensive coordinator in there, then you might be able to salvage it all.
Okay. I mean, my reason that I say that is because, as you was coming in, if getting to the Super Bowl with the two coordinators that you had and you lost both of them, and then the result is what we got this year, when they were literally playing with fire all season.
Yeah, you could argue that it was those coordinators and not him. Yeah. So
if that's the case, then what exactly did Sirianni do? What, are you just the trip planner? Are you making sure you planning the nutrition for the team?
Yeah. No, I mean it's yeah. I mean I think that's a good case. I don't know what happened between the 49ers game before and after, because even though they were winning for the first half of their game. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you good. Gotta take care of the kitty cat. Meow. But I mean, it's as Randy takes care of his situation. It's just I'm just a component of, hey man, just the way that they looked. Because I get what because I'm gonna let you finish your statement, but where you were going and you talk about the 49ers game, I mean, they've been playing with fire all year. I mean, started in week 1 against the New England Patriots team, they were struggling.
Yeah, they struggled against the Vikings, they struggled against the Commanders, they struggled against the Patriots, they struggled against almost everyone, but they were winning, and because of that, I think the narrative around them was skewed. They were a lot like the Vikings of last year.
That's exactly what I said before you got in here.
Yeah, it's a very similar situation. Like, they were getting a lot of really cheap wins, and they were getting so much of it that it looked like they were a great team.
Because winning cures all. And I think that's always one thing that is for sure in all of sports. As long as you're winning, it can mask some deficiencies. But then you notice once you go against San Francisco, Dallas the second time, more teams that can,
the Cardinals, the Giants.
Whoa. See. Oh, here's the real kicker. So the Cardinals game, and then they're going against Jonathan Gannon, who was just their D coordinator last year, really exposed them.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Really.
The Cardinals overachieved. I mean, they were still not a good team, but they were better than people expected. Yeah. They were at least relatively competitive in a lot of their losses. And he was working with a much worse roster than he was with the Eagles.
No doubt.
Yes, no doubt. So I think you could absolutely use that as a case. All right, Gannon is keeping the worst roster in the league on a talent basis afloat and kind of competitive and even beating some winning teams. And then you have the Eagles with one of the most stacked rosters, and they're struggling against all these losing teams. That's what maybe Gannon was the thing that was part of why they were so good the year before. I absolutely agree.
Yeah. It's for me, that was just especially tonight, that was a pathetic way to go out to end your season like that. And to me, it puts a lot of things in perspective on this Eagles team as a whole. And I mean, it's then you look at the AJ Brown factor, what's going on with that. That might be something to keep your eye on. To me, it's just it's a lot of noise. and it's then you compile it with all the losing that they did down the stretch, which wasn't good. How do you go from 10-1, 11-1 to literally just cheeks?
Yeah, no, it's weird. It is weird that happened, but because of all the close wins, like you could argue that this was a long time coming, and they just happened to keep getting lucky. But the whole time maybe they weren't even really a good team anymore, and they were just getting lucky over and over, and then they finally got exposed when they went against the NFC's best team, and then it just was downhill from there.
Yeah. Give me your take on what you saw tonight in that Pittsburgh Steelers Buffalo Bills playoff game earlier this afternoon.
I mean, I wasn't really surprised by anything. I knew the Bills were going to win. It was obviously the Bills were going to win. Allen looked really good. That really long rushing touchdown. He looked really good. I think that they could be a real threat for the Chiefs at this point. I mean, they look like the kind of monsters that they did at the beginning of the season before that weird middle, before they fired Ken Dorsey. They kind of look like they're back to they were in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. Hey, solid win. I think the only thing that's concerning me with the Bills as a football fan, does give the Chiefs an advantage, is you're seeing some injuries starting to pile up on the defensive side. You're starting to see some of those injuries where they were already coming into this playoffs already kind of injury riddled anyway. So you're starting to see a little bit more durability problems. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this now, because I don't want to hear no hate about it next week from Bills fans. Look, here's the advantage of the Chiefs playing on Saturday night and the Bills playing tonight. There's 2 days of extra rest. I meet up on Sunday, and say what you want. So I've already laid out two things that are already in the Chiefs' advantage: the injuries to the Buffalo Bills and 2 more days of extra rest for the Chiefs. So take that as you want, football fans. It's going to be talked about. It's going to be one of those little nuggets of dropped in there when everybody does their matchup. So I'm saying it now. So get it out there now and take it as you may. But
and in this case in particular, like, it's not even like it's the Bills. Like, it was just the result of the snow. So like it wasn't like nobody was given an advantage here. They weren't supposed to play today. So like nobody can be blamed for that if people try to use that as an excuse. Like, it was the result of snow. Nobody had control over it. Yeah. And it's just one of those things that I'm not sure if people put stock in things like that, but it's just a little nugget that I wanted to make sure gets put in the atmosphere before they call me a homer and whatnot. I'm acknowledging that there are certain advantages that the Chiefs are having going against the Bills next week. That's all. How impressed were you with CJ Stroud on Saturday? Okay, so before we go into the list, I'm just going to tell you that I have CJ Stroud very high on that list.
And that's fair.
And
and before you say that, I'm assuming you got that list based off of just this year.
Yes, this year and just the regular season.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, he looks like a football savant. Like, he just walked in. He was not just the best rookie QB, but he was just one of the best QBs, period, this year. One of the best touchdown interception ratios of any of the quarterbacks. Just doesn't make mistakes. He made Nico Collins look like a Pro Bowler. Like, he's been ridiculous, and that was against the best defense in the league before this, and they didn't perform like it against him.
No, they didn't.
So the future is absolutely bright for CJ Stroud. I think he's going to be like one of the top QBs in the not necessarily on that level immediately, but in the Mahomes, Burrow, Allen conversation of the top QBs in the league. I see Stroud around there going forward, 100%. I'm already absolutely sold on him. No doubt. He did this with a bottom 2 team in the league last year. The Texans and the Bears were the 2 worst teams. He popped in, and the coaching and There's some really good defensive players like Anderson and Stingley helped a lot too. But it was absolutely him that turned around this otherwise really bad team more than anybody. And I think he deserves an insane amount of credit for that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. To me, there's no doubt about it. It's and for me, because I think going into this weekend between the Browns and the Texans, I was like, whoever wins this game probably wins their coach, that Coach of the Year award right there. And I don't know if they did the voting on it or not, but to me, it's clear as day that, because you can make a case for Stefanski, you can make a case for D'Amico Ryans. After what I just saw this past weekend, there's no doubt in my mind it's D'Amico. He had his team ready. He had his team ready. And they were after it on both sides of the ball. They got after it.
They could sweep three awards depending on how much, if they factor this in at all, because Offensive Rookie of the Year is obviously him. Yeah. You have a couple of people for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Anderson is definitely on like the top 3 of that list, and then D'Amico Ryans is probably in the top of the list for Coach of the Year. They can clean sweep those 3. Yeah,
and that'll be something very. I don't know the history of the NFL awards, but in my short time on this earth, I think that'll be probably a first. Sweeping all 3 of those awards: Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, man, I can't knock the Texans no more. They are no longer a joke. The scene is that they were a bottom feeder, and the quick turnaround is astonishing. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
Chiefs Dolphins, man. Give me your.
You need to worry about Travis Kelce.
I've been saying it because the fact of the matter is and a lot of Chiefs fans get mad at me because I keep it real about my team, because I told them, I was like, look at the stats. Travis Kelce is at the top of the list of drop passes. He's up there. I mean, there's no other way about it. He's up there. I mean, and you can't ignore it. Say what you want, but numbers don't lie.
And he dropped a couple of really important passes
in that game against the Dolphins. Yes,
he's lucky that Tua played as bad as he did, because that may have ended up coming back to hurt them if he played like his normal standard.
He did not look the typical Travis Kelce-esque that we are accustomed to as football fans. He did not look like that.
No. So no. I'm not sure. I'm curious what's going on there, because it's not a talent issue. I mean, we've seen him before. I don't know what it is. It might. So, yeah, maybe it's focus. Maybe it's because his girlfriend's been at these games this whole time.
I mean, I obviously that's the low hanging fruit to blame it on that.
And of course I'm being facetious. I'm sure it's not.
But that's not just you. Social media, national media, they're gonna gravitate to that as a low hanging fruit, and the reason why. I just think I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen this guy perform like this. I hope he gets it together.
Yeah. You guys are lucky you have Rashid Rice. He's basically been carrying the entire load as a receiver for all of your receivers. Because it would be one thing to blame it on Kelce for having the dropsies if it was just him, but all of your receivers but Rice seem to have that. Oh no, I don't know why that is.
Rashid Rice had his because he's up there at the top of the list with Travis Kelce. It's just that his drops didn't cost the team any. I guess they
weren't in big moments.
Yeah, his drops get overshadowed because his production was so high as a rookie. And just like how when we say that the Eagles' deficiencies get masked by winning, Rashid Rice's production masked his drops, but his drops were up there. So it's like you don't pay attention to him as much. But Rashid Rice, man, what a way to break out in the playoffs, man. What about give me your thoughts on the Rams and the Lions? Because I'm before we get to the other game that happened Sunday, I want to say that for last. So give me your thoughts on the Rams and the Lions.
I'm not surprised that it was as close as it was. I think they are very close teams. This was one of the ones that I think was the hardest to predict, but I mean, the Lions came out really strong in the beginning, and then the Rams started to chip away and come back, and then everyone's butthole started to clench a bit. Like, oh shit, like now, because everybody wants the Lions to win that, right? Like everyone out of LA wants them to win. So like everyone was just like, oh no, like as they started to like get field goals to like start to come back, but the Lions got some good stops. Their defense did play very well. The running game was really good. Gibbs and Montgomery both looked great. Goff looked great. I'm on Ross St. Brown, looks like a superstar. They really pulled it out against a very good Rams team that was not easy.
Yeah. I had to eat crow a little bit because every time I go against the Lions in a big game, they prove me wrong. So definitely shout out to Dan Campbell, their offensive coordinator, and Jared Goff. I was like, man, hey, just like you said, when you see the little the little sphincter gets a little tight, you can really see it. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for Jared Goff to mess it up, and he managed to not mess it up. So credit to him. And last but not least, the treat of the playoff weekend, especially for you and most fans, Jordan Love goes into Arlington, Texas with his Packers teammates and put a stomping on the Cowboys. I know you were very elated about it, but did you see any type of performance? Like, could you even imagine a performance like that from Jordan Love?
This has been his best performance by a long shot. Jordan Love's been super weird, right? Because when I've been talking, because I talked to, I'll give a spoiler. Jordan Love's not on my list, and this is regular season, and I was talking to one of my football groups about it, and they were like saying like, oh, Jordan Love should be on the list, whatever. And he has been very inconsistent this year.
He has.
Very inconsistent. Like in the Giants game, which was the one that I obviously paid the most attention to, he looked horrible.
Yeah.
And for most of the year, his completion percentage was under 60%. He's been really inaccurate, making a lot of weird mechanical decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And like PFF had even talked about that, like he was making a lot of weird, like doing a lot of things like that mechanically were off and like didn't make sense. And he had been doing that. So no, I don't think anybody, especially against the like arguably the best pass rushing defense in the league, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No.
So I mean, this was, I think, the only game that I was wrong about the outcome of, and I'm glad I was wrong about it. And yeah, Romeo Doubs looked great. Aaron Jones looked phenomenal throughout this game. They absolutely need to use him more. There was a weird period where they weren't using him at all. Like, they need to keep him in there.
Well, to be fair, Aaron Jones was dealing with a lot of injuries this year. Of injuries this year. But I noticed down the stretch when he was able to play, in some games, and they actually used him properly the way that he is used, as in get him going on those inside outside zones and get him outside the either in the flats or little easy routes, screen game, and get on the ball, just get him out in space. And once Matt LaFleur did that, it actually worked pretty well to their advantage. I mean, 3 touchdowns, couldn't have nothing. But what separated him, excuse me, was his pass blocking. He put a hammer on Micah Parsons more than once yesterday. I mean, literally stonewalled him and literally helped Jordan Love get that extra time. But I think I agree 100 with your sentiment on Jordan Love. Now his overall completion percentage is not that bad, but there were times where he was playing, up and down football. I mean, he came out hot in the first couple of weeks and he cooled off, and then I guess the Chiefs game where he had that great night, and then he started playing, and then he followed it up with the game against you guys and against the Giants. I'm like, well, I don't know what to make of this guy.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a rookie. I get that he's learning on the job, and I get that he also has a young receiving core. He doesn't really have like a star number one. So I get the whole up and down thing, but it was just really confusing with him because it didn't seem to be for a particular reason why he was good in one game and then bad in the other. Like, it would make sense if he was like good against bad teams but bad against good teams or something along those lines, or there was some kind of weak spot that was exploited sometimes. But in this case, it was totally random. Like, there was no reason why he was good in some games and bad in others. But he just was.
Yeah, it was definitely unexplainable. Couple more questions, and then we'll get to your list.
Sure.
There's no way you keep Mike McCarthy, right?
No, they have a ceiling with him forever. Like, it's just that. Because in the difference between this and the Sirianni situation is that at least Sirianni did get them to the Super Bowl last year. Mike McCarthy has not gotten them to anything further than the divisional round.
Yeah,
forever. And hasn't been a great coach. He happens to have a stacked team, which makes it a little easier for him. But yeah, I mean, no, you gotta shop around. If you don't want this to just be your ceiling forever, you gotta do something about it. And maybe Dak too, although this probably was Dak's best year. Maybe wait to trade up on Dak, but see what he does under another head coach. But if Dak doesn't improve under another head coach, you're gonna have to find someone else too. Like that, he just may be like the other Kirk Cousins. This may just be his ceiling.
The funny thing is a lot of people have always compared him, and they called him the Black Kirk Cousins. And I've heard somebody say that to his face, and he hasn't been a fan of it. But I'm like, well, what else do you call a very wealthy guy that has a ceiling as a quarterback that's surrounded by talent? I mean, Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott. I mean, you guys is fitting in the same mold. So, and I got to say this, and I said it earlier on the I.O.W. Sports Show. For those who disliked Cam Newton's statement of the game manager versus game changer, you're welcome. That's what he was talking about. When you see people like Dak and Tua, when they tell you don't make the turnovers and we can win. Don't make the mistakes and we win.
Yes.
Game managers. That's exactly what Cam was talking about. You hated him and people blasted him for it, but this is exactly what he was talking about, just in case you were confused, folks. So, and he said Purdy's name, so we got to see what's up with Purdy next week.
Yeah, I mean, Purdy's the quintessential example because we literally saw what happened when his system fell apart.
Oh yeah. But as certain people in they call us haters or liars. So, but hey, neither here nor there. So what I love about Randy, man, he's been very active in the I.O.W. Sports Facebook page. So if you got time to join, go on over there, I.O.W. Sports Network. He does a lot of interactive, things to get conversations started. And he's not shy about the backlash that people may like or dislike about his takes. But he put together, is it top 50?
Top 50.
Yeah, top 50 players of 2023-2024 based off of regular season. And the floor is yours, my brother. Go ahead.
All right. So I will start by saying I had so many honorable mentions that when I tried to whittle down so many people where I was just like, should he be here? Should he not be here? So if there's somebody who you immediately come up with that's like, wait, how is he not on the list? He was probably an honorable mention. I'm also going to the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do a block of 10, so 50 to 41, and then I'll ask you if you want to discuss anything in particular that you heard. We'll talk about it if once we're done with that, then I'll go to the next block and so on. Okay?
Cool. I'm with it.
All right. So number 50, Kyron Williams.
I like.
Number 49, Bobby Okereke. Number 48, Jesse Bates. Number 47, Lane Johnson. Number 46, Joe Thuney. Number 45, Creed Humphrey. Number 44, Derrick Henry. Number 43, Sam Laporta. Number 42, Devon Witherspoon. Number 41, Sauce Gardner.
Okay. Probably the only thing I would say, and this is not just me being biased, Creed Humphrey is probably one of the best centers in the game. But you know, it depends on how important people veer the line of scrimmage or the trench war. Me personally, I think it starts and ends with the trench war, and I value guards, centers, tackles, defensive linemen. But I understand that the NFL is about the position skill players. So I understand that. But if you talk about the true grit of the game, I would definitely wouldn't be ashamed of moving all pro centers and guards, tackles, D tackles, and defensive ends and moving them up the list. But hey, I understand.
I factored in a couple different things. So I factored in like that individual player's stats and performance, but I also factored in things like how impactful were they? How good was their side of the ball on the team that they were on as a result of what they did? The importance of that position. Like last year, quarterbacks generally made the top because it's the most important position. Therefore, they're generally the most impactful. It was just because if you're doing like an interpositional thing, that just makes it a little easier. So I mean, that's the main reason why the center position is a little less important than some others. But yes, he is the only center I have on this list. I agree that he's the best one.
Got you.
Okay. Number 40, Bobby Wagner. Number 39, Trevarius Ward. Number 38, Dexter Lawrence. Number 37, L'Jarius Sneed. Number 36, Kyle Hamilton. Number 35, A.J. Brown. Number 34, Mike Evans. Number 33, Max Crosby. Number 32, Khalil Mack. Number 31, Danielle Hunter.
Okay. Went on a nice little D lineman run right there. Wherever people value, that's what they value. But I love some Max Crosby, and I absolutely love the fact that you still gave Khalil Mack some love because he is still showing some value at 33 years old.
Yeah.
Same with Bobby Wagner, as you mentioned his name. L'Jarius Sneed, after what he just did twice against Tyreek, don't be surprised if his stock goes up. It's going to make it a little bit harder for the Chiefs to re-sign him. He's going to cash in after this season. He's cashing.
I had him as, I think, the second-ranked cornerback in the league. You could probably guess who's number one because he's probably going to be most people's number one. But I had him, L'Jarius, like right underneath there. He's been phenomenal. Didn't give up a touchdown all year.
Yeah, phenomenal. Snubbed at the Pro Bowl. Ridiculous in the All-Pro slot.
That's insane.
Yeah. Whatever. Go ahead, brother. All
right. So 30, Travis Kelce, which was the absolute hardest for me to figure out because I was trying to ignore who Travis Kelce is and just focus on this year. But that was kind of difficult. So I have him at 30 as like a safe spot, I guess. 29, Chris Jones. 28, Justin Maddebuik. 27, Dayron Bland. 26, Trent Williams. 25, George Kittle. 24, Puka Nacua. 23, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 22, Fred Warner. 21, Raheem Mostert.
Okay. Yeah, Raheem Mostert had a great season at 31 years old. Battled some injuries in a San Francisco 49ers uniform, but managed to he's been doing awesome the last couple of years in Miami.
Led the league in touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. He was a touchdown machine this year. Love what he did for sure. So some running backs from go ahead, my brother.
All right. 20, Nick Bosa. 19, Bills Josh Allen. 18, Brandon Ayuk. 17, Jared Goff. 16, Micah Parsons. 15, Trey Hendrickson. 14, Jaguars, Josh Allen. 13, CeeDee Lamb. 12, Patrick Mahomes. 11, Dak Prescott.
Ooh.
Again, this season only. In a vacuum, Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, that's why we clarify this, folks, for everybody don't jump into my man's DMs. Like, what the hell are you talking? Relax. We're talking about based off of this year in regular season only. This is not recency biasy. All right, relax, folks.
And I had to be so objective because I did not. Obviously, I don't want to put Dak Prescott that high. But
I'm pretty sure you probably threw up after you did that. But I
did. He led the league in touchdowns. He had the best touchdown to interception ratio. And like that's where he belongs. I mean, maybe I should have waited until after the Packers game because I could have justified him putting him lower. All right, the last 10. 10, Aaron Donald. 9, Roquan Smith. 8, Brock Purdy. 7, Tua Tagovailoa. 6, CJ Stroud. 5, Myles Garrett. 4, Christian McCaffrey. 3, TJ Watt. 2, Tyreek Hill. 1, Lamar Jackson.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Not a bad top 50 list right there. Cash Out T, what's happening, man? Hit through some laughing emojis. Eagles fans in shambles right now. They are absolutely in shambles. They are heartbroken because hey, I mean, when you display the trash that they put on national TV tonight, you should be in shambles because that was just pathetic.
Yeah. Exactly, and it was against the Buccaneers have been a above average team. Like the biggest reason they're in the playoffs is because they're in the weakest division. Not to take anything away from them, they did well.
No, Randy, don't. You were just fine where you was at. They literally are in the most trash division. Because I had another word, but I was like, nah, let me not get kicked off.
They got into the playoffs with 9-8, which is weaker than most of the other teams were, if not all of them. I think. Yeah.
It's terrible, man. Because that was one of the factors that I said. I was like, come on, you lose to an NFC South team, add that to another nugget on why I think they should get rid of Nick Sirianni's raggedy ass. Losing to an NFC South team. Like, come on, stop. I mean, I can literally come up with like I said earlier, I think I know a couple of crackheads that could probably coach an NFC South team and probably get them to the playoffs. So that's not saying too much. We got about 12 minutes left, so let's take a quick look at the divisional round and just kind of give me your early predictions. And this doesn't have to be your end all be all predictions of next week's playoff games, but we'll kind of just conversate and just kind of give me an idea where your head's at. So Saturday, we're going to have Texans and Ravens. Kind of give me your first initial thoughts of that matchup right there.
So on paper, the Ravens are the much better team, right? Like on paper, this should be like a cakewalk for the Ravens. But after how good CJ Stroud has been, after good that defense has been, how good the coaching has been, the fact that the Browns were the favorites against the Texans and they got smoked. I think I'm still going to go with the Ravens, but I think this could end up being a really close game. Like I don't think the Texans are going to die easy.
Oh, no, I don't think so neither. And I'm going to also drop a nugget in here for you. So CJ Stroud has seen actually solid defenses all year. They played the Ravens already, first game of the season. 25-0. It didn't go so well for the Texans, but if you look at what CJ Stroud did, he put up 28 of 44 for 242 yards. Only thing is he got sacked about 5 times. But if you look at what he's been dealing with all season, he's been dealing with a makeshift offensive line pretty much all season. Not using it as an excuse, but just stating facts. But he's seen the Ravens. He's seen Steelers defense, which is primarily pretty good, and that was with the TJ Watt, and he put up 30 points on them. He's seen a good Falcons defense. He's seen a good Saints defense. Unfortunately, he lost to a solid Panthers defense. So he's seen good defenses throughout his rookie season. Mm-hmm. So here's the nugget that I'm ready to drop for you. Now, the last time we saw Lamar Jackson in the starters of the Baltimore Ravens was December 31st. So in between December 31st and next week's divisional game, it'll be 20 days. 20 days. Since we've seen the starters of the Baltimore Ravens offense. Now, all I'm saying is when you got that much time off, it takes 28 days to create a habit. It's been 20 days. They ain't played football.
Yeah.
So don't be shocked if they come off to a slow start. Don't be shocked if that slow start puts them behind the 8 ball. It's something similar to what the last time we saw Lamar Jackson in 2019 in the playoffs when they the number 1 seed. He took the last week off, rested, and then, one and done. Divisional round. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, and right now CJ Stroud has the hot hand.
Yes.
So look, that's just a matter of carrying momentum. If what you're saying is true, yeah, the Texans could end up going to an early lead. Yeah.
Momentum still matters in playoff football. Packers 49ers. Give me your thoughts, initial thoughts on that one.
The Packers are the most unpredictable team in the playoffs. So either Jordan Love puts up a game like he put up against the Cowboys, or he puts up a 55% completion percentage. I don't know what to guess with him, but. It's the 49ers. So that's just not going to be enough against that team. I think the 49ers are going to win. I can't predict whether Love will play well or not, but I don't think he's going to play. Even if he plays well, I don't think it's going to be enough to beat the 49ers. Going with the 49ers.
Yeah. And it's not a diss on Jordan Love. One good game, phenomenal. Now to follow it up with another one, and that's a different team between 49ers and Cowboys. I mean, the vast difference in both of those teams is ridiculous. I mean, obviously, when you saw the 49ers go up against the Cowboys, that shows you the difference in quality of teams that they are. Now, I can't lie. If he goes in there and you know what? He doesn't even, for me, Jordan Love does not need to go in there and have a game like he did yesterday against the Cowboys. Now, this is the ultimate game manager game, in my opinion, for him.
Yeah.
To go in there, don't make the mistakes. Because, you go in there in San Francisco and make the mistakes, that's when shit goes downhill.
Right. And in this case, I mean, they're going against a Joe Barry defense. Him not making mistakes shouldn't be crazy hard. It's not a horrible defense, but it's not a defense that his offense should have that much of a struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if he plays if he just doesn't mess up, I think he could put up a great game against that defense.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look who his offensive weapons are. I don't think any of them are going to struggle that badly against that defense.
Yeah, and I think if honestly, it's the I think Aaron Jones is going to have another game in pass pro like he did yesterday. He's going to have to buy some time for Jordan Love, because that front seven of San Francisco is probably one of the scariest front sevens out there. And that's saying a lot. He's going to definitely have to tight end might have to help, get a little chip on there on Nick Bosa before he releases and runs for his route. Aaron Jones might have to pick up a Fred Warner or a Greenlaw coming through on a pass rush. It's definitely going to be probably the Packers need to probably play their most perfect game to win that game.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I see them winning that.
And that's asking a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, that's like asking Jesus to turn water into wine, for real. But no, let's go Sunday. We got 2 games Sunday. Buccaneers and Lions. Do the Buccaneers have any shot of going into Detroit, beating down the lovable Cinderella story?
I mean, they have a shot. I don't think it's a very good shot. Like, I don't think they should be like horrified to play against the Lions, but the Lions are definitely a pretty strong favorite with that offense that they have. Like, all of the offense, especially with Sam Laporta playing. I think that they will. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout, but I think the Lions are going to pretty decisively win it. I think it could end up being fairly competitive, but the Lions are going to decisively win it.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I am not counting out the Lions in any more big games. I just can't do it because I look foolish every time I do it. Hey, Baker Mayfield, hey, you had your joy and your win tonight. Unfortunately, it comes to an end next week. I'm gonna go ahead and say that for sure as one of my picks. It's just that when you see how physical the Lions were playing yesterday, I mean, they beat up Matthew Stafford. It was like, hey, reminds you of when you used to play for us, getting your shit kicked in Ford Field. Yeah, we're just going to do it to you again. You're wearing the opposite uniform, and they tore that man up.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Yeah, he came back. He got injured in the game and then came back from it.
Yeah, they was kicking his ass, man. They was beating him up. They gave some good shots to Puka Nacua, even though he did gash that Detroit Lions defense. So that's probably the only saving grace that I can see for Tampa Bay is the fact is lean on the veteran gamesmanship of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and see if they can get after that very suspect secondary. So that's probably the only way I can see Tampa Bay having a chance at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, even though Baker Mayfield has been much better than his normal standards, like, we do have to remember this is Baker Mayfield.
Yes. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, man.
Yeah, like, every time he plays, like, well, there's always the chance that this is going to be the game where he fucks up because it's still Baker Mayfield. So, if against like another, like a good defensive line, they have Aiden Hutch, they have Brian Branch, like they have good people on their defense. They have Gardner Johnson. Like I don't know, it's not the best defense in the world, but it's certainly enough of one that if Baker Mayfield isn't playing great, can take advantage of him.
Yeah. Facts. I'm 100% agreeing. And then, of course, closing out division round, Chiefs finally going on a road playoff game in the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, going to Buffalo, take on the Bills. Give me initial thoughts on that matchup right there.
So, out of all 4 of the games, this one is the hardest to predict, I think. Mm-hmm. These are the teams that are probably about the closest to each other, and also the teams that both have had their weird hiccups. Mm-hmm. Where they weren't playing to their normal standards. So you never really know when either of them are going to do that.
Yeah.
I picked the Bills when I did the predictions because they've already beaten the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. But they also beat them by basically a penalty. Yeah. And is Kadarius Toney playing?
Well, he was inactive Saturday night, and it would not hurt my feelings if he was inactive again.
If he is inactive, then the Chiefs might win.
Hey, I'm just saying, man, it did not hurt my feelings that he was inactive on Saturday night. It didn't hurt my feelings not one bit. It won't hurt my feelings if he's inactive against the Bills. It won't hurt my feelings if he's inactive in the if they happen to get to the AFC Championship game. It won't hurt my feelings at all. It would not. So take it as you may, Chiefs fans, football fans, whatever.
Yeah,
it won't hurt my feelings.
It's a ironic situation when you have a starter and the issue is, okay, if he's playing, they might lose. If he's not, they might win. That's the case with him. So I'm giving a slight edge to Buffalo, but it's like a 51 to 49%.
Oh, yeah. The bad thing with Buffalo and Kansas City matchup, they know each other so well because they've been playing each other for the last 4 or 5 years on a consistent basis, at least twice, because they've both been division winners. So you get that first place schedule. So you're going to face each other in the regular season. And then more than likely, you're going to see each other in the postseason. So they've been seeing each other on a regular basis for the last 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, it's a toss-up. I don't care what team I root for. This is not an easy game to call. It can go either way.
And Buffalo has it at home for the first time, so that does affect things because in their past playoff matchups, it's been an Arrowhead. This time it's not.
Yeah. So that's a factor to go in, and then the factor that I said earlier. Look at the injuries for Buffalo and the fact that Chiefs get a couple of days more of rest. Before going into this matchup. So, hey man, it's you never know how these games go. Just because they've always been relatively close besides the AFC Championship game a couple of years ago. They've been
before Josh Allen became this version of Josh Allen.
Oh yeah. That was like almost the coming out of Josh Allen. It was that year. But one thing that has been consistent with Josh Allen is the turnovers. He managed to stay turnover free tonight. So that's a good thing for him and the Buffalo Bills. And for the most part, relatively besides the Clyde Edwards-Helaire garbage time fumble, the Chiefs managed to stay turnover free against the Dolphins. So, and that's kind of been their Achilles heel on offense. So it's definitely going to be a matchup of who can not make the mistakes next week because the margin of victory is so slim. I think whoever wins that turnover margin is probably going to be the victor of that game. And let the chips fall where they may. Because I will not hold no bias in picking a winner of that game. It's just that's just how these two teams play each other. It's going to be coming down to final possessions. So.
No, exactly. And I mean, it also depends on KC's receivers. Like if they play as well as Rice did in against the Dolphins, if they're able to not drop the ball, like, literally and figuratively, if they're able to not drop the ball, if they don't blow a bunch of like really important game plays for Mahomes, they can seal it. But that's a very big if. With the current receiving core the way that it's been.
Randy is talking to you, Travis. He's talking to you. All right.
Yes.
He's talking to you. All right. But no. Hey man, pleasure. Always a pleasure having you on the show, Randy, man. Thank you for putting that top 50 list together. And of course, anytime you always want to talk football, you already know what to do, man. But go ahead. Anything you want to plug, social media pages, go ahead. This is time to do it, my brother.
I do audio production, recording, mixing, mastering, beat making under Panther on Acid Productions. You can find me on Instagram. Find me on Facebook. If you need anything music related, just hit me up, reach out.
Hey, you heard the man. Reach out to the man, and he definitely has a very keen eye to the NFL world. So, hey, always a pleasure having my brother here. Y'all know where to find me. I.O.W Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram. Most importantly, right here on the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, let you know when we drop new content. I.O.W Sports 1 on the Twitter. You want to chop it up with me personally, the Wildcard Mar, KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter, Wildcard Mar on Facebook and Instagram. Hey, man, always a pleasure to chop it over with my guy, Randy Reber. Hey, join us on the I.O.W Sports Network Facebook group, and you can always interact with Randy. That's where he does most of his work and damage right there. So, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed Wild Card Weekend. Some great football went down. Join me tomorrow, midnight Eastern Standard Time. I'll go back to my regular time, and I will chop it up with you later. On behalf of Randy, Wildcard Mar, hey, we out of here. God bless. Y'all have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see y'all Tuesday night. You dig? Peace and love.
Silent Hill, TD, yes. Hitchhikers.
Yeah, smoking so much dope, I'm seeing traces. Visual lasers load across the scene is dangerous, aggressive like behavior. Couple monsters for my neighbors, resisting human nature. Persistently getting greater, bloodshed like the Terminator. Fire up the green, I need it, increase the dopamine. Feel better, so I kill better, doped up of cocaine. Roaming like I never had a home, so I'm all alone. Smoking bones down the chromosome till the filter's gone. Suffocating under heavy pressure, the signature marks are the cornerstone of a nigga that's ready to spark. Like the pathway through the treacherous, wonderful dark. Searching for a lost spark, curators of a lost art. Desperately holding shit together until it falls apart. Blood stuck to pool in the water, just waiting on the sharks. Love is the deadliest game, but I'll just massacre your heart. Tearing at your body, wondering how did we start?
Fuck man, I think a nigga about to spaz out. Cause I don't give a fuck no more when I'm down to my last night. Then I ran out of luck, feeling look down, about to pass out. Speeding down the highway in this challenge, afraid of God I won't crash out. Dump the ash out, give it all up on the cash out. Make every second count, I just wanna see that ass bounce. Bitch, what you talking about? Drop dead, delete the part of nigga, watch your damn mouth. You don't wanna get me started.
Pedal to the metal, hit the floor. Flying through the city, and that's about to float. Grab the main, grab a shit, get close. You already know how this can go, I'm about to leave.